What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review for Love After Lockup Season 3, Episode 11. So, we opened up with, who do we open up with? Well, hell, it don't matter. Sarah and Michael. Okay, so let's talk about Sarah and Michael. So we left Sarah last week having like a whole breakdown over the Michael situation. She's just getting to a point where she is done. She is at her last leg. She is just done. And she was at her therapist's office and she is just having a whole breakdown. I mean, even to the point where the producers even had to come to her and be like, "Girl, are you okay?" Because, I mean, I know we making a scene and everything, but I feel like you went a little bit beyond, like, a scene. Like, are you good? And she actually called her new boyfriend on the phone. And you know what? You can always tell certain things. He was very calming. He was like, "Hey, what's going on? What can I do? How can I help? Well, if you still need me, give me a call if you need me." You know, like, so I was like, okay, I feel like I like him. I feel like I like him, you know. She still ain't heard from Michael, okay? She still ain't heard from Michael, and she, you know, so I'm just gonna, y'all know how I do. I'm just gonna go through the whole thing. I'm not gonna go back and forth. So she, of course, is, you know, she wanted to she wanted Michael to get there early, like he said he was, because she wanted to introduce Michael to her new boo. And of course, Michael does what Michael does. He doesn't come. He don't call her. He don't answer her phone calls or her texts. He just shows up the day of the party, calling her, talking about some, "Yeah, where the address at? I'm here." And so, of course, she's standing there with the boyfriend and her best friend, and they looking at each other like, "You got to be kidding me." Here's my problem with Michael. You really feel entitled that when you want to play daddy, you want to be daddy. But what you don't understand is, and what Sarah was having the breakdown about was, she can't turn it off and on. She is mommy all day, every day. And she can't turn it off and on. And that is her frustration. Like, listen, he gets to show up and be daddy of the year and do what he wants to do, how he wants to do it. I don't get to turn it off. I don't have any help. You know what I mean? I'm sure she has like help, like her mom and stuff like that. But she's like, I'm always on. And I know it's frustrating that Michael just shows up when the fuck he feels like it. And so he did the same thing. He was supposed to be there a couple of days early, I guess, to spend time with the kids and help out, maybe help get the party together, whatever. And he didn't. And he was like, "Man, there's a lot going on. You know, some things went down. I had to tell you about it later. Probably some crazy shit with the girl down in Florida, but that ain't Sarah's issue or problem. Hell, Sarah tried to tell you that woman won't no good, but you ain't want to listen. Anyway, so then, um, Michael shows up to the party, and Sarah tries to talk to him before he goes in and says, "Listen, I wanted to do this. I didn't want to wait and do this on camera. I mean, do this in front of at the party. I wanted to kind of wait. I wanted to talk to you, and you didn't do what you said you were gonna do. So I want to let you know that I've been dating somebody, and he's here at the party. I can bring him out here so I can introduce you, because I don't want no tension. I don't want no fighting. I don't want no bullshit." And Michael's response was, "Man, I'm here to see my daughters. I ain't here to meet some dude you just met." So here's the thing. There's a part that's like, you're right, Michael. You're there to see your children. You're not there to meet him. However, I feel like I feel like Sarah was respecting you enough to say, "Listen, I want to introduce you to a man I'm dating that's going to be spending time with me and probably be around your kids." Now, does she have to do that? No, she don't have to do that. But I feel like, Michael, you should at least want to be introduced to the man. Y'all ain't gotta be friends. Y'all ain't gotta shake hands. Y'all ain't gotta say nothing else to each other the rest of the night. But shake his hand. How you doing, bro? Okay, cool, whatever. And you spend the rest of the day with your daughters. But there's a part of me that feels like Michael was mad because she had a boyfriend, because he wasn't gonna be laid up with her like he probably thought he was gonna be coming up into town. Okay. So I don't know. And y'all know they left that the cliffhanger, child. They left that as the cliffhanger. So let's talk about Marcelino. No, I want to save them for last. Let's talk about is it Lindsay? think it's Lindsay. Y'all know I always got to remember these names. It's Lindsay, not John, but because John was the dude that she left him for, the other boyfriend. Oh shoot, what's that boy's name? Anyway, child, they're getting their in vitro fertilization, right? And he can't be there for the actual impregnation because of COVID. So she had to film it and sort of send him video of it happening. And he said, I sort of feel like I'm being robbed of the process. Like I'm being robbed, like, I'm being robbed of it because of COVID. It's not happening. And he said basically it's got to work out because we ain't got the money to do this again. We saved up the money. We're in this special program. But if it doesn't take the first time, it'll be really hard for us to do it again. And my thing is this. I get that because I know in vitro is expensive. And I have friends who've done it. And it usually doesn't take the first time. I mean, it can, but it's very hard. And even if it takes, you got to be very, very careful because it may, may be a false positive. It may not fully, become a baby, that kind of thing. So they did get she took a pregnancy test and she did get a positive result that she's pregnant. But like I said, we're going to wait and see because not that I wish any bad at all. I wish, listen, a baby is a blessing, even if I think that they're making a mistake, but the baby is here now, so the baby's a blessing. But it's just a lot. You have to be very, very careful with in vitro. You be very, very careful. Okay. So that's them, child. We're going to go and get them out the way because they ain't really have a whole lot going on, honey. They ain't got a whole lot going on. I think the evening bonus started at 7. So Andrea and Lamar, listen, y'all know I think Andrea is just absolutely ridiculous. They're having dinner. Looks like they cooked on the grill or something like that. They're eating out in their backyard. And Andrea says something about we need to bless the food because if we don't bless the food, the coronavirus is going to get on your food. And her son was like, that is not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And so while they're talking, she's like, so what did y'all do today? And the damn boy, he know good and daggone well how his mama is crazy. He know his mama is crazy. He gonna say, oh, I tried weed for the first time today. Why would you say that? Andrea went slam off. And Lamar tried to explain he didn't smoke no weed. My brother, he fired up the blunt and he offered it to him, but he didn't take it. And before he could finish explaining how he told his brother he was out of order and that he shouldn't have done it, of course she throws a plate of food at him and she walks off. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And again, don't get me wrong, I get her reaction because you raise your children a certain way, and then they're hanging out with their father, and their father, and the boy, because what he said was, I tried weed for the first time. That's what he said. He didn't say I was around weed. He didn't say somebody, and then he tried to act like he was joking, but it didn't matter. She was already on 20. So she's talking about how she wants to get Priscilla, the youngest daughter, baptized. And she's like, see, this is why we need to get her baptized, because the kids are being exposed to so many more temptations and so much more here than they were in Utah. And I really, really, really want to get my daughter baptized because I want her to be protected. Here's the thing. I 100% understand that. And she's valid to say, listen, we moved from Utah to South Central. And even though I know South Central, I don't want to put that moniker on them of South Central, but they are exposed to more. They are going to be around different temptations that maybe they weren't not necessarily. I'm not saying Utah is perfect. We know that things exist everywhere. But I understand her fear as a mother. And I understand what she's saying about, listen, I want to get my children as protected as I possibly can. I understand that part of it. She wasn't speaking to Lamar for a couple of days, honey. He was sleeping on the couch. And then he finally talked to her and he explained to her. He said, listen, he didn't smoke weed. I told him, don't do that. That's not what we do here. My kids don't do that kind of thing. I really, I don't appreciate it. And so, of course, she was like, you did? You said that? Like, yeah, I would have said that if you hadn't, threw the plate in my face and walked off. You would have known that the first time. So then she was saying, well, listen, this is why I want my daughter to be baptized. I called the church and we can do, because of coronavirus, we can't do X, Y, and Z, but we can do A, B, and C. They can go to a pool, and her son, who's actually, I guess, in the Mormon church, he's a priest at this point because he's turned 18. He can actually do the baptism. So Lamar agreed to do it. He said, "Listen, I can compromise." And she even said to him, she said, "Listen, you don't have to be there because I respect the fact that this isn't your thing. So all I'm asking is I want you to be okay with our daughter getting baptized. The other two kids are baptized. I want my daughter baptized. I need you to be okay with it." And he said he was. He said, "I'm willing to compromise and I respect, where she's coming from. Even though I don't think it's necessary. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand." Okay. So, child, Angela. So Angela gets a visit from her friend Tommy. Now y'all know Tommy is really in love with Angela, and Tommy really wants to be with Angela. But poor Angela, she knows it, but she ain't stunting Tommy, honey. She'd rather have an inmate than date Tommy. So Tommy comes by the house to bring her wedding gift, and Tommy was like, "Listen, I knew old boy was gonna screw up. I didn't know he was gonna screw up 2 days after the wedding. Hell, I hadn't even had a chance to bring her damn wedding gift." I said Lindsay. The girl name is Lacey. Lacey and Shane. I apologize. Lacey. Anyway, so she starts telling Tommy about Ross. Now, Ross is the other dude in jail that she dated back in the day. And Tommy was like, "Who the hell is Ross? Like, you done went and found another inmate? I am sitting right here. I am right here. And you done went and found another inmate?" And she was like, "Well, I've always, he was always around. I was dating him before I started dating old boy. But, he's always had my heart, and, I really want to talk to him, and I really want to reach out to him and see if things can work between us." And Tommy is sitting there like, and he even said something to the effect of, he'll just be waiting for her when she decides to, recognize him as the one. And I was like, "You poor thing. You poor thing. Poor thing." So then, last but not least, we have Marcelino and Brittany. Now remember last week, Brittany had abandoned the kids and went off to go do whatever. And so, and then we found out that she stole money from her sister. And so she went and found the mom. The mama was at the apartment. Listen, high as Cooter Brown. It was really, really sad because she was so high and she looked like such a junkie. And I'm like, you have to have a strong addiction to leave your grandkids to go get high. Steal money from your daughter, leave your grandkids to go get high. And of course, Brittany is going off and she's like, "Listen, you are ruining her life. This is it. I'm packing her up. I'm, the little sister, and I'm sending her back to dad in Alaska, and you are on your own. And when you get evicted from your apartment, and when you're on the street, don't call me, don't come see me, because I'm done. I am done. I can't believe you did this. I can't believe that and she said, "I understand addiction, and I know how strong it is, but I also know that until she's ready to help herself, I can't help her." And I was like, you know what? That part is true. There's only but so you can lead the horse to water. You know how it goes. You can lead the horse to water, but you cannot make it drink. And she's like, "There's nothing I can do for my mom at this point." And I 100% understand where she's coming from. And I 100% agree. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't finish with the Angela thing. So then we see later on in the episode, we see Angela FaceTiming Mr. Ross. And she's explaining to him, you were always the one, and me and you got into a fight, and when how I am, and we got into that fight, and and I wasn't speaking to you, and then he came along and he swept me off my feet, and and he was like, Ross was like, "Yeah, all right, whatever." And she was like, "But I really love you, and you the one I really want to be with, and I want to come see you." And he was like, "You ain't want to come see me because I've invited you to come and see me, and you ain't never come." And she was like, "I'm gonna come this time. I'm coming. I'm gonna come and see you." And he was like, I said, "Girl, bye." Anyway, y'all, that was the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in these comments. Peace.